How many people do you have on campus? Do we know that or
we know how many people be in our attendance here?
We've got about 10 or 15 that are coming in.
Okay, that's fine.
Probably have a total of 20. All right. Well, good morning and welcome to our OffSite Construction series that is presented by Modular Sure Site. Our presentation always takes place on the second Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. and the last Tuesday at 4 p.m. All of our presenters are amazing experts in their field, and we're certainly proud to be able to present information so that people can start knowing more about this construction form. Having something that is built off-site in a factory is certainly being able to now be considered more with what has happened over the last 8 weeks with the illness of COVID. So we are certainly excited, and we are going to let everyone know about our partners, because without our partners, we would not be able to do our series. So our first partner in doing this presentation is Think Modular with Steve Dungy and also Emran Hassan, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name with TSOC. They're going to be our presenters today and talking about smart cabling integration and modular design. The exciting thing about their presentation is they're also going to be showing us their showroom and different products that they use. So it's certainly going to be very exciting. Our next partner in crime for the OffSite Construction series is Academy Mortgage Corporation. We're thrilled to have them being involved. The great thing about this company is they actually do lending for offsite construction in modular and panelization and other forms of construction. Our next partner is Mountain View Window and Doors. And I'm going to have Matt McMullen speak on behalf of our partner.
Yeah, so Matt McMullen, General Manager of Mountain Window and Door. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. If you have any door or window needs, please come to us. We lead with Anderson, also have Milgard, and we represent Western for large window openings, Anderson Multi-Glide, La Cantina, Centaur, and Arcadia.
Thank you, Matt. Our next sponsor is 303 Development. I have worked with Greg Crom in modular construction in single family and some multifamily. Greg's business is growing. He was a traditional builder and now he is moving over to modular design builds. So we're excited to have them on our team. Our next presenter with our partnership is Art of Construction, and I'm going to let Scott actually speak on behalf of this amazing podcast.
Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Hicken. I'm the producer for Art of Construction. So we're a media platform, mainly a podcast, but also we do webinars and live events all centered around construction and trying to connect new technology, new platforms, new better ways of building to professionals, to handshakes, trying to create a really cool new community in the AEC industry across America and worldwide. And we're honored to help Audrey put on this amazing event.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. So I'm going to present our new speakers for today. We're excited to have them. I had Steve actually reached out to me probably, I don't know, maybe about a couple of months ago and telling me about his very exciting company called Think Modular. Steve has more than 20 years of solid telecommunication and brand management experience in various categories of the telecommunication industry, starting as Bell Canada service technician to project managing 2 PanAm Game sites in Toronto to now in partnership and owning and operating his company, Think Modular, in the Toronto market, where he and his team design and deploy modular cabling assemblies. Our other presenter is Imran Hassan, who is the president of Transglobal Systems of Canada, TSOC, a second-generation family-owned business in the telecom sector. TSOC was established in 1983 and continues to be a leading manufacturer of industry-compliant cables, connectors, and tools. TSOC has become recognized and a trusted source of connectivity. Both gentlemen are here today. We are extremely excited to hear about your presentation, and I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you, Audrey. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the invite. Good morning to everybody, wherever you are. And oh, you still good?
Yes.
Okay, we're good. Okay. So, yes, myself and Imran will be presenting today. I'll be obviously presenting on behalf of Think Modular, and Imran will be presenting from TSOC. Work together exclusively on our Smart Connect solution. We're going to take through several slides on how we approach a client fit out, how we approach a hotel fit out, how Imran and his team are incorporated into that, so we can definitely help the client be successful. So I'm just going to jump into the slides here, and we can continue from there.
And Steve, if you can talk just a little bit closer to your computer, that would be amazing.
Yep. You can hear me now better?
Yes, that's much better.
Okay. Everybody can see this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So yes, we are modular cabling integrators. I often get asked, how can cabling be modular? After spending 20 years in the industry, I was trying to find a better way, a faster way of deploying cables in a office environment, hotel, condo environment. And definitely after doing some research, partnering and collaborating with Imran, we came up with a solution called Smart Connect. As we go through our discussion today, we already made introductions. I want to go through the modular way, how we approach all the fit outs, hotel fit outs, what a smart intelligent building is in today's world. Imran will take it over from there, and we're going to show you the showroom, and we can wrap up with questions. But I encourage everybody to ask any questions during the presentation. Feel free. We're here to answer everything, and we can go from there. So our first slide is, as Audrey already indicated, I've been in the industry for 20 years and enjoyed the industry. It's grown so much. The buildings out there are innovative, very innovative, and they come with smart technologies, right? So with decades of, not just me, my other partners of the company, we have decades of industry experience, and we've come up with customer modular interior cabling solutions by using the latest components in modular design. We use robust component selection for lifetime of service, project planning support efficient and predictable timelines, installation and post-commissioning support, engineer floor plans, and industry standard test reports. This is how we approach, or this is our business basically. We look at all these disciplines that are in the office space today. There's always wireless connections out there, sound masking connections, PoE lighting, security, and audio visual. With our modular solutions, we can support all these, as we say, disciplines that are in the office today. Our vision, yeah, we have a vision of becoming the industry standard for providing a complete modular cabling design for smart intelligent buildings and client fit-outs. We tend to reach our vision through flawless design and execution to meet our customers' needs. We use quality components for long lifetime, long-term partnerships that go beyond the job completion. Our approach. We really take this part, pretty serious when we talk about the design and build of the infrastructure. This is where we ask all the high-level questions on how we're going to design it, how we're going to procurement, the installation, and the support of all of it. We talk to architects, the builders, IT persons, AV people, and get all their take on the fit out. I'm going to take you back a little bit here. This is Caveman Cabling. We wanted to show this because this is how cabling. Have you ever walked into a land room and you have this when you open up the door? There's a big, looks like a spaghetti nest. And some of this cabling is, we call this traditional caveman cabling, where a lot of it is just sitting there and it's been abandoned or it gets cabled on top of cabling. And what happens there is the initial install on structured cabling is with a good intent where they design it and they put it in. And it's usually a point-to-point system where they're installing a cable from a user end or a Wi-Fi end back to the land room. And that's how traditionally cabling is done. And during the construction period, if there's any adds, moves, and changes during that construction, you have to add another cable to it. What we do is we incorporate extra spare ports data cables from the solution. So there isn't any, if there's any adds, moves, and changes that are added during the construction, we can be flexible and move quickly on them. After the construction done, when the furniture is all in, that's when a lot of the changes come up especially in the cabling world. Because when the furniture comes in and people are looking at, I need an extra drop here, I need an extra drop there, with our modular solution, we can really act fast and accommodate those changes. With the regular structured cabling, they have to put in another cable from point A to point B. Now you have all these people in the office, now you have all the office furniture in there, and it takes that much longer to do. Oh, and then we're going to just a quick view of traditional cabling versus modular cabling. You can see here the picture on the left is your traditional cabling ends up becoming this of all the adds, moves, and changes that again are during the construction and after when there's any adds, moves, and changes. With our modular solution, our cabling assembly comes dressed. It comes pre-terminated and it comes ready to be flexible in that workspace. Yes. We've noticed a big change in the workspace area now. The old days of having an office with a whole bunch of offices with a overhead ceiling, a lot of the cabling, you see on the picture here, a lot of the cabling to the right, you'll see traditional cabling, it would go through a riser system, go into the drop ceiling, and then go down to the workstation. The offices are changing now. They're a more open concept, less offices, huddle space, and they're encouraging the collaboration between employees. So now what we've noticed the change, the trend in the next generation workspace is there's a raised floor system now. In the raised floor system, all the services are underneath the raised floor system, even which include the data cabling. So we have to work with the other trades in terms of electrical, the HVAC system, security systems, AV, and a lot of it's being deployed underneath the modular floor. So with, again, back with our trunking system, it works very, very well underneath the raised floor. With this with this new office space now, the trunking system can easily be moved around. They have, because usually they have open office space where you can move desk around, do any adds, moves, and changes if any new employee gets hired. And then we can easily move the trunking system around underneath the floor, underneath the modular floor to accommodate any adds, moves, and changes. Not only that, we can install it that much faster. And here's our approach. We talk to clients and users, architects. We take all the information that we can, collect all the customers' requirements in terms of what they want out of an IT. We do site assessment, walks, measurements, things like that to get all our information. We develop a critical pathway, cradle to grave, so to speak. We do design and mock-ups for the decision makers before we even get to site. We review with other trades to make sure that we're not overlapping anything on the site. And also the time schedule, if we follow a Gantt chart from the GC or anything like that, we'll try to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Because sometimes what we find is, the data requirements get lost in translation, what they need at the very end. So we really try to stay on top of that and convey our message to, especially the owner, the IT people, the AV people, architects, interior designers. Also, with our system, it's a LEED accreditation where we can add, with using our system, it can help you get points for your LEED accreditation. And also at the end, we also provide engineer as-built drawings. What happened there? There we go. Okay. You got it? Okay. Okay, everybody can see this floor plan? Go back up. This is a typical floor plan that we get from an architect or an engineer. This shows what they're looking for. This is the seating area. This is what they're looking for the end. When people move in and get the workspace set up. So this is our canvas, so to speak. So we'll move to the next one. Thank you very much. This is what it looks like after. To take this modular this modular system and put it into this floor plan. What we do is we really take a look at the floor plan, we divide it into zones. In this particular case, we divided this floor plan into 4 zones. We'll get into more details with what's happening with this. As you see here, it's divided into 4 zones. And what we do is we calculate how many people are going to be in each zone and allocate how many trunking systems need to go there and how many extra spare ports to accommodate any adds, moves, and changes. So in each zone, we have different spare ports allocated to that zone, which gets cabled back to the main communications room. Just so any adds, moves, and changes during that time, and we supply this to the decision makers, and they sign off on it. And this is what an as-built floor plan from Think Modular look like. We color code it so everybody knows exactly what color is associated with which device. With the Wi-Fi device, sound masking, PoE lighting, security, AV. So we supply this to the end user and the IT person. They will take a look at this and see exactly, instead of going by numbers, they will go by colors and realize what device is connected and where it is on their floor plan for any future troubleshooting. And it's good for us too to keep this on record because we want to have repeat work. We know where everything is. and we can help out the client for, again, for any adds, moves, and changes. And it's standardized, exactly. Now we're going to get into some pictures here. This is our trunking system for rapid deployment. As you see on this, instead of having cable boxes, we have spools of trunks on here. And what I want to do is kind of switch back to the camera so I can show you exactly what I'm looking at. Okay, everybody can see me, yes? Think so? Okay, so.
Yes.
Everybody can see this? Okay, this is the trunking system. What we've designed this for is 6 cables get bundled up. This is done in the factory. So all this, what happens is we get 6 cables bundled in here and it comes on a spool. And what we can do when we're deploying that, we can deploy 6 cables at once. Then we put a whole bunch of them on a spool system and we can deliver multiple cables at one time through this, this reusable spool. We can pull from one end of the office to the other and then move the trunks around the system so it accommodates where we need to go. Back to you. I think that's it. Hang on, I think you're here. There we go. And here's some of our work. You can see that all the trunking systems can easily be deployed in a cable tray system. As you can see, there's a basket tray system. It's organized. It's the guys here, or you can see the guy on the left here.
We don't see your screen yet, Steve.
I'm sorry?
If you can reshare your screen, we can't see it.
Sorry, okay, I thought it was showing there.
No problem.
Sorry. There we go. Okay, you can see it?
Yes, now we are good to go.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is the guys in action here. This is pulling the trunking system. Actually, I want to go back one slide here. 1 second. I want to review this one. As I showed you in the picture, as I showed you live here, that's a trunking system has 6 cables. This is where the off-site construction part comes into play in the installation deployment. In this picture, what you see is 7 trunks with 6 cables each. So we're installing 42 cables at once. Instead of having 42 separate boxes of cables sitting there, we can pull this, and it's already dressed. So when we pull it in underneath the floor or over top of a drywall ceiling or a drop ceiling, that it's already dressed in. Because when you look into a traditional cabling, it's usually the cables are a little bit messy up top and they come apart and they're not dressed in properly. With this, again, off-site construction compared to traditional cabling, this is all done in-house before it arrives to site, and we can deploy it that much faster. Again, back to this one. This is the guy installing it in a cable tray system that's above the ceiling. It's nice and neat and tidy. Again, we only have to secure the trunks down to the cable tray system that you see on the right, where the guys are putting Velcro on the cables to secure them to the cable tray, and it's like a waterfall right into the land room. Pride of workmanship, as you can see, it's sitting. The 2 pictures on the right are located in an enclosed cable tray system that you don't see anything from below. And we just lay them in there right beside each other. We don't have to go back and dress them, and we know which trunk goes where. Picture to the left, same thing. It is on a trunking on a cable tray system, and we just Velcro it down because this is, sometimes in the opened office ceiling, you'll see cabling, and we just lay the trunks in there nice and level, evenly, and we use Velcro to secure them down.
So Steve, the client comes to you, you guys work out a system, and then you're able to design all these cabling systems per that project site, and that's how you are able to deploy those to the site and then install. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. We do take a lot of information from the owner, the IT person, what their data requirements are. And then we do a mock-up from what they've told us and how we want to do it. Then it comes in-house. We design it all in-house, come back to them with a package and review it so they can review it. And then we start the process of doing the off-site construction.
It's amazing. So brilliant.
So here, this is this picture of the land room. We have showed you the cable tray. This is what it looks like in the land room. These are projects that we've done in the past where it shows, you see the picture to the left there is a top view of going into a LAN rack. In the middle, same thing, the side view going into. So these trunking systems, what we do on one end, it's a consolidation point. On the other end, it's a cassette that actually snaps in right into the patch panel, right at the in the LAN room. You can see the picture to the right. It's all organized, and it's a funny thing with modular cabling. We don't do it from the top down. We do it from the bottom up. So all our trunking systems, when they get installed, we start from the bottom, and then the trunks lay on top of each other. Again, we don't have to dress them because they're already done off-site, and it just snaps into the patch panel. There's no terminations on-site at all. Now here, this is the hotel layout. I know Audrey mentioned this in her post that we'll be talking about a hotel layout, and I wanted to kind of do this, show you just a quick overview of what we do on a hotel layout. The hotel is actually quite easy because all the floors are the same. And what we do here, I have the pictures to the left that will show you where they get installed. As you see, there's the 6 rooms here that I have posted on the right-hand side here. And on the left-hand side, you will see from the consolidation point, the modular trunk, the modular whip, and the modular patch panel, and where they are located in each location. And it's a plug-and-play system. Now you can see the consolidation point sits outside in the corridor in front of each room. The trunk gets installed from that consolidation point all the way to the land room, as I indicated in orange. The whip, which is inside the room, which is your telephone, your TV, and your data connection, they get installed from there back out to the corridor and connect to the consolidation point. And we'll show you some examples here. Now this is a modular wall. This is what would go inside the hotel room or condo. We would give the whips, the pre-terminated, pre-tested whips, to the modular wall company. They would install it, as you see on the left, the picture on the left there. They install it inside a conduit, which is already fixed. They bring it to site. They erect it. They connect it. The whips get put up into the ceiling and already brought to the corridor where we can plug them into our trunk system. So we also work with other manufacturers like modular walls. So we supply them with our modular whip, and they install it for us, and we meet them on site, and we bring it back to the corridor and connect it to the trunking system. Now, I don't know, the word smart intelligent building is out in the world today. They use acronyms as IoT, which is Internet of Things, PoE, which is Power over Ethernet. Now, today's world, today's buildings now have all these disciplines that need and now have a internet connection. Like the lighting has connection, fire has connection, even the charging for the electric cars, elevators, HVAC, water. And what does that mean? Is now that all these disciplines are connected to the internet, and they can all be monitored on one network. So all these cables, all these devices can be cabled back to a network switches, which is all on one network. So what is that? How does that work? Now, it works because now we can monitor anything that goes wrong with anything with these disciplines. If there was a flood, there's several people that get notified. Like the maintenance person, the water person who come and take a look at it, the owner of the building, fire gets notified, all on one network. We didn't have to wait till someone came in the morning of the building and saw a flood. So usually it's the maintenance man that comes in early, checks it out, and then calls appropriate people. But now this has created a new career for the maintenance person, because the maintenance person now becomes pretty IT savvy, because now he'll be connected to all these devices via his smartphone, computer, or anything like that. Which leads us to smarter, faster, greener. With our trunking system, the Smart Connect solution, we help provide credits to help the building or fit out become a LEED green building or place. So we work under the material resources area of this. With our trunking system, I think we're one of the only cabling companies that will help get points towards that. I'm sure all of you have seen this, traditional versus modular, where off-site construction is way beneficial than being on-site. The gap between the being on-site and off-site, it's a huge savings. We are in and installing the cables in half the amount of time as the traditional cabling companies would. And that really is our selling feature, is the adds and changes, how fast we can get it done on site with a easy plug and play system. And the benefits of it, this is all of it right here, speed. Install quicker than traditional cabling solutions without the mess, because there's no terminations. You don't have to cut the cables or anything like that. All the terminations, again, are done off-site. All the testing is done off-site. Although we do test on-site after the product's been moved, just in case there's any damages or anything like that. But we go down to flexibility. Flexible during the construction period and after. So any moves in the electrical, any moves in HVAC, our trunking system, again, is very flexible. And we can actually, like I said, it's the reaction at the time that we have during the construction, after construction, that we can help with flexibility. And it's a removable asset. It's redeployable. This is one thing that I get a lot of questions about too. With traditional cabling, you go from point A to point B. When the client moves out, they have to rip all those cables out or abandon them, and then they get taken out. So now, with our trunking system, they are trunks. So you can remove them and move them to another site. So if the client owns the trunking system, they can take it to their new site because they've already paid for it. They can remove the trunks and we can redeploy it at the other side. If the building owner owns the trunking system, client moves out, they can leave the trunks in, the whips get removed, construction starts. Either we add trunks to the new client or move the existing ones around and redeploy some new whips. Again, we reduce installation time. Scalability, adaptable for future growth. Again, adding more ports to the existing infrastructure for adding moves and changes. Reduce cost on adds, moves, and changes. I will keep saying that. Cost control. It's smart, designed for Internet of Things and PLE applications. It's LEED accreditation. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. We follow that model. And why are we so different? It's because we partnered and collaborated with TSOC. They provide a high level of overall system quality. They help us with design inside the factory, to plug and play and easy adds, moves, and changes. It's zone designed for future expansions, and it's color-coded to identify devices for easy troubleshooting. And I'd like to introduce you to Imran Hussain. I've been working with him for a long time. He's the president of TSOC. And being Think Modular, we really wanted to partner with somebody we trust. So we have a high level of relationship there, high level of trust, quality work, partnership, consistency, all those things that you want in a partner. So I'm going to let him take over right now, and he'll take you through some of the Smart Connect components and other things that TSOC has.
Well, thank you, Steve, and good morning, everyone. Audrey, thank you for that very warm introduction, and welcome to our presentation. I think Steve has done an amazing job in providing a high-level overview of the Think Modular concept, and I'm here to talk about TSOC, the Smart Connect modular cabling solution, and how it dovetails with the Think Modular concept. So TSOC, as we discussed earlier, is the established manufacturer of industry-compliant cables, connectors, and tools. And through the collaboration with Think Modular, we've developed a Smart Connect modular cabling solution. So here on this slide is an illustration of some of the components that you'll find in a Smart Connect solution, from in the LAN area, the patch panel, to the trunking system that goes from the patch panel to the consolidation point, and then the wick that goes from the consolidation point to the outlet. And we do have illustrations of each of these, so I'd be happy to show you those as a physical example. Do you want to do that now, Steve? No, moving on. Okay. We can always show you guys a little later if there's an interest in seeing the physical components. So here is an illustration in a work area, traditional boardroom. You can see the consolidation point. Steve alluded earlier about how everything was color-coded. This is really done for many reasons. One, it's providing consistency. If you're a franchise type environment where every location needs to be consistent, because that's the benefit of franchising and of being able to provide that consistency, not only in the experience you get as you come in as a client, but also what you experience as perhaps when you're tapping your card and paying for your product or service. What we are doing is providing that consistency of the experience the clients have on an IT side, something that really hasn't been given a lot of attention and focus, but we have worked with a very large outfit from the US who has deployed their stores here in Canada, and it's worked out very, very nicely. And you can see how the consolidation point then feeds all the different technologies within that room, whether it's going to be a camera, whether it's sound masking, whether it's going to be lighting, or whether it's going to be a data or telephone port. Next slide, please. Something else that Steve alluded to and illustrated was that hotel sort of a layout. And what TSOC also provides is modular connectivity in suite to, again, complement the Smart Connect solution. So this way, the theme of modular continues from the design to the build to the off-site construction to the on-site deployment, right into the room, and then once the furniture is moved in, then the final dressing, you can call it, is done by putting in the devices that are needed. And all of our products, and Steve alluded to this concept before, are plug and play. So everything is modular, everything is off-site construction, ensuring the quality and the customer experience is going to be consistent, and then deploy it to site and then plug and play. Next slide, please. Oh, geez. I think Steve said it all. I'm glad that we had this brief opportunity to interact. If there's any other questions, we're happy to field them now. Steve can join me up here on the platform. I think, Steve, we wanted to show a little illustration of our collaboration space, as well as maybe the modular component. Maybe now's a good time to do that. Would that be all right? Is that everybody? Okay.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay, so having webinars and going to customers' places of business, doing a pitch or talking about what they need or try to sell their product, we invite people to the modular showroom. So we thought, instead of going to people's places, have a lunch and learn at our office space. So what we did is we did a Think Modular showroom. So I'm going to back this up so you guys can take a look and see. I'm going to start with the modular floor. As I said before, closer? Yeah. You guys can see me? Okay. This is the modular floor. This is a typical floor. This is a typical floor inside a new office space. Right? Perfect. Okay. Modular floor, we put in plexiglass so you can see what's underneath the floor. This here is modular power. We don't get into modular power, but we partnered with a company that does modular power. So these two devices here, so this one here and this one is ours, it's a consolidation point. So what the modular power company does, they put the floor in, they put these modular consolidation points in those zones that I previously talked about. So you can actually run power to different locations in that zone. This is our trunking system, like the power. Within one zone, two zone, we allocate these consolidation points that are close to a workstation. So underneath the floor, we can run our whips to maybe TV or to a sound masking that's underneath the floor or to a workstation. These can also be installed directly to the workstations as well. But usually we put them here. For example, this one here in our showroom, this is a consolidation point. We're only using 2 ports. One for the TV that's behind me, and one to the workstation that's behind me. There's 4 spare ports here. And that would be indicated on the floor plan to the IT person. So anybody who wants to move into this area, they add a new employee, they put in a new desk, we pull a whip from here for the person to use power, we pull a whip from here, and they're connected by data. No mess. No caveman cabling. Everything is done in the zone, even though these whips get pulled in different directions, but it's only done in the zone. So you keep everything nice and neat and clean underneath the floor. Everything's labeled. Everything is labeled as well. And colorful. And we're going to bring you over to the lab. Actually, you know what? Let me show. Not sure if you can see this. This is the modular patch panel. What we wanted to show is the color codes. Thank you, sir. Put that in there. All the trunking systems get patched into the modular patch panel, and they're easily color-coded for each device. Instead of having your traditional labeling numbers on here, which we do have, it also indicates what it is. So if anybody goes into the LAN room and looks at a red jack that's on the modular patch panel, that's associated with security. So they automatically know what device is connected to it. If it's yellow, it's PoE lighting. If it's blue, it's Wi-Fi. If it's black, it's a workstation. Thank you, sir.
That definitely makes it easier for the end user.
Yeah, it does. We found that, doing the color code, because it's usually when you install these patch panels and you have labels on them, it could say D for data, and it's D10, it's data, but you don't know exactly what's on the end of that cable. So when an IT person or anybody comes in, they know exactly what is on the end of that cable. We'll supply them with a written document, all the as-built documents. That comes with the as-built document is the patch panel, what the labels are, what devices are connected to them. And this is basically this is an outlet that's at the workstation underneath the floor. And these are all pre-terminated whips that go from the workstation back to the consolidation point. And everything, again, we keep going, everything is modular, everything is plug and play. We try not to do any terminations on site. Everything's done back at TSOC, everything's done off construction. And basically, the technicians get the site, they open up their site file, and they know exactly what trunk goes where. It's all done on the floor plan. So they know where to install the trunk on the patch panel, they know where to install the trunk underneath the floor or over the top of the ceiling. So it's very, very plug and play, very easy, very can deploy very, very quickly. Pull this back out. And also, back up here, as you see, things up top. We showed you the underfloor. Now the consolidation points, we have a cable tray system that goes around the office here. And there's cameras that are hanging from the cable tray system. Now the cameras are hooked to the consolidation points. There's 4 cameras here that are connected to other consolidation points, and the consolidation points are color-coded, so we know that they're connected to cameras. We would have had PoE lighting here, we would have had sound masking in here, but due to the COVID, deliveries are not happening, so it didn't happen at this point. But we'll get it in there, and we'll be doing another webinar so we can show the sound masking and the PoE lighting and how it can get. Our foundation supports all those other devices: PoE lighting, sound masking, security, and onward. And yes, Pam, what's up? Also, I wanted to show this too. Okay, guys. Sometimes when we're installing a trunking system underneath the floor, this comes in a sock, they call it, a mesh sock that protects the cables. This comes on a spool, like the other ones we showed earlier, with a pulley knife. So again, our guys can deploy this underneath the floor, 6 bundles, 7 bundles at a time with one pulley knife. They cut this off, and all the terminations are done underneath this sock, and it gets plugged in and played right in like that. And they all come pre-labeled, again, back at the factory. Everything comes pre-labeled, plug and play. And I think that's pretty much it. Anybody has any questions, feel free to ask myself or Imran. We're a chatter. We can chat.
So when you guys are working on these projects with modular hotels or commercial projects or whatever large systems that you're working with, Imran, are you able to get different compliance and different cables and stuff like that per the code for that municipality of where they're building? Has that ever been an issue for you guys, or is it all just the same? I'm new to it, so I don't really know. Is there a industry standard with all of this different cabling, or do you have to have different, codes, building codes to be compliant?
That's a great question, Audrey. In Canada is where we are doing the majority of our deployments. The standard code is pretty consistent coast to coast. We haven't had the opportunity yet, but through this presentation and through some of the collaboration we'll do with you and others in our audience, we look forward to learning more about what the building codes and the standards are in different parts of the United States and how we can work together and conform to those standards. Because we manufacture the product, we're able to respond to the needs of the industry, and because we have a collaboration partnership with Think Modular, we're able to get that immediate feedback, and that's the kind of partnership we want to create through your audience so that we're working hand in glove. We don't want this solution to be deployed through a reseller or a distribution channel at this time, because they may not really fully appreciate and understand the value and the benefits of the modular cabling solution, which is why we need to have a forum like this where we can have an open dialogue and even field trial them until we've had a proof of concept, and then we can do a full-on production launch, and then look at how we can build our channel partners as far as the installers as well as resellers, if there's an opportunity to develop that relationship. But we are working with consultants, engineers, and designers. These are the people who know all about the codes, the standards, and they will give us direction as to what's required, whether it's a commercial building, a residential building, whether it's going to be a school, a hospital, or any kind of a workspace. They'll give us direction and we'll design according to those specifications. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you. Will, do you have any questions? I know this is kind of your world, and I know that, you know, this is your space, and I am glad that you're here with us because you think, and you know, so Will is with 359 Design. He is a modular architect and he works with projects all over the world. So I'm super happy that he's here. Will, do you have any questions or comments about this?
No, I do have comments. I'd like to learn a couple things more as we're advancing our residential product, right? So how can we take it on the so many things. It always seems like we're reinventing the wheel every time it comes around, from a manufacturer to a manufacturer, and doing different things. And it seems like great opportunity to standardize those processes and that sort of thing as we come along. So look forward to picking your brain a little bit further about it, but great product and great presentation. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Will. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I was really impressed with, I joined your presentation, your webinar that you had the last time, and it was very, very informative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Look at us bringing the world together for modular.
There you go. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I think we're kind of coming up on the wrap up, and I actually really loved your presentation. I have to say, Steve and Imran, that was so great. I haven't seen anything like that, and I love seeing your facility and being able to kind of explore it, and actually visually seeing it actually does help. I think that we'll probably be seeing you a lot more in the States, and I can't wait for that to happen. I'm super excited that you reached out, and this kind of just explores the conversation of how we can think and do things better. I've also allowed people to see your profile so that they know how to connect with you. I gave everybody your email and your phone number, and we'll just keep the dialogue going and keep us abreast of all of the new projects and stuff that you're doing, because I think the more we can have these conversations and be included, the better off we are collectively in this industry. And that's really the greater goal. And I think we all share that we're growing so quickly. It's nice to see that you're also integrating this type of smart product into what everyday building can now offer. So thank you very much for your time.
Oh yeah, we really appreciate it, and thank you for putting us in connection with all these fine people that are in the modular world. The modular world is moving quickly in the U.S. more than it is here, but our product is getting out there in terms of connecting with the right people and getting it out there quicker, and I think it's a great opportunity for us.
We're very excited about establishing relationships with all of your audience, and I really thank you very much again for this opportunity to present. And if there is a future opportunity to present again, and perhaps in the afternoon period, we would be happy to polish our presentation and maybe even throw in a little bit of humor in our next dialogue.
Awesome.
Hey, Steve. Jason Carter commenting. Great job, guys. As well, Imran, the first time meeting you. This is Jason Carter, the mod coach. I've actually got a project right now. I mean, one of the things, you guys are right at where we need to be as an industry moving forward. And it's going to take the Williams out there on the design side and the owners out there and us out there and myself pushing the product. Because one of the challenges you're going to have is to pick up a factory that's going to want to pick this up and take on something new. It's not something they've ever done. You know, we start stepping into some of the named factories that have been around a while. You know, anything that's changed is painful for them. But I'm working on a project now that we'd like to look at POE. We've discussed it. It's just the factory that's looking at our project be willing to be coached along the process and us come in and help them along the way do this. That's going to be one of the challenges with some of the existing factories that are out there that don't see the future of what POE and or solar PV combined with this does for the future of construction. So I look forward to helping you penetrate and get into the modular facilities and putting together a package that allows you to do that somewhat seamlessly. And that kicks back to Will. I mean, it starts top down, right?
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. Yeah, reach out anytime. We're here to connect.
We're accessible, we're responsive, and you know, we look forward to keeping in touch and staying connected.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Jason. Thank you. Yeah, Jason works with his company, the Mod Coach, works with several factory design and development, and he is out there and you know he's making things happen. So I'm certainly so happy and excited that he's involved in this as well. And also we also had Amy Marks with Autodesk on. She is really changing the world over there for a whole nother way of integrating offsite construction into a traditional form. She was very excited and was here with us as well. So we are making the journey. We are making points of connection. And I think that is the greater good of what we can do for this industry. So again, thank you all for being here. Our next presentation is on Tuesday, the last month, sorry about that, the last Tuesday of the month on May 26th. That one is at our time, Mountain Standard Time, because we're from Denver, Colorado, at 4 p.m. We'd love for you to join us. Horizon North, their strategic sales director, Rhines Kane, is going to be speaking on modular construction for affordable housing. So it should be pretty interesting. Also, all of our events are located on modularsuresite.com on the events page. We have a whole lineup for the rest of the year. We have people from all over the world that are speaking just to kind of include the industry partners and allowing us to still continue with this conversation. Again, I'd like to thank our partners for making this possible. Thank you to Academy Mortgage Company, 303 Development, Mountain View Window and Doors, and The Art of Construction. The Art of Construction has reached new levels of audiences with their form of podcast and also webinars. So if you have a chance, please check them out because it's really interesting how we're transforming the conversation. So again, I thank you all for being here. We are very appreciative. I will be collaborating and putting this onto our YouTube channel and also having the link on our website. And hopefully we can continue to have the conversation and start changing the dynamic of what we call offsite construction and be the leaders and the experts to make all of these new amazing opportunities for construction to change. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Roger.
Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.